This generator has a very big problem. It's got a piston, broken piston. So we have to get into it, change it. Alright, so we're starting off by removing those covers from the side where the rotor and your stator sits. Just make sure that you take note of those wires where they were before removing them. Otherwise, if you put them back in the wrong way, you are going to burn the whole coiling system or the whole stator or the rotor of the generator. So just make sure that everything is done. There's the stator. I just took it out now, and now the rotor, and that is also out now. So taking out the covers now. So before going on further, we have to drain the oil. So let's drain that oil, getting it off there, otherwise it's going to make a mess. Now we are taking off now the shoes, or they call them mountings, generator mountings. I call them shoes. Alright, so we've taken it off the stand. So now we can be able to remove all the other parts from the engine itself. So now we're removing the pull start. Otherwise, we won't be able to get that that crankshaft off without removing it from the side, which is the flywheel side. I've got a special tool that I'm using to make sure that I'm removing it nicely without breaking anything. As you can see now, it's all off. Now I'm just making sure that I'm able to remove that piston there. I'm trying to push it out. It's going to pop. There we go. Popped out. And that is sorted. And now the crankshaft has to come loose as well. There we go. We've got the crankshaft. It's in good condition. Nothing else is broken. It was just the piston, so I've got everything washed. Alright, now seeing that all the parts are clean, now we start off with the piston. As you can see, I've got a new set. I've got a connecting rod, brand new connecting rod. We've got brand new valves, and we've got a gasket as well. Yeah, I believe the cylinder gasket is also a new one. As you can see, I'm still going to use the old connecting rod because that connecting rod is still in perfect condition. I've got the rings there. Now we're putting the rings in the piston. This is a very, very sensitive job. Very, very sensitive. The rings are very, very sensitive. They break easily. So we have to make sure that we do it nice and easy. I'm doing it a little bit faster because I'm used to it, but for anyone who doesn't really do this, you have to be very, very careful when you put in the rings in. Or even if you can get someone who does or who knows how to, then make sure that you get that person to do it for you. Otherwise, you will end up buying another set of rings. You will break one, and then you will end up buying 4 of them. So it's better to do it the correct way. Now that I've got the rings in place. As you can see, this is where it's going to go. So let me put the gadget pin in, and there's the side tips, just to make sure that the gadget pin doesn't move around in there. So when I push it in, usually there's a tool for it. As you can see, I'm putting oil just to make sure that it's lubricated. There's a tool for putting the piston in, preventing breaking those rings while you are pushing it in. So I don't have the tool at the moment, so I'm only using the flat screwdriver. It's a very, very small one, so it's helping a lot as I'm pushing it down while pushing the rings in as well. As you can see now, it's in, and I've actually done it the other way. I was supposed to put the crankshaft in first and then the piston in, but in any case it works out. So but for your information, you have to put in the crankshaft first before putting in the pistons. That's for your information. For me, I've been doing this for a while, so I know exactly how to go around it. As you can see now, I'm finishing up using a size 10 to tighten everything. Now we put those 2 valves in, and then the camshaft. Now I want to emphasize something about the camshaft. It's got a very tiny small hole there. That small hole needs to align with the other hole that is on the crankshaft. So the camshaft and the crankshaft, they've got one hole, one each. They have to align. If those holes are not aligned, then your piston is going to break. Basically, your engine will fail. So you have to make sure. Now I'm busy putting that flywheel back in its place, putting that cup as well. They call it a powel. Yeah, pull start powel. No, not the pull start powel. The pull start powel is in the pull start. It's a pull start cup. Let's call it a pull start cup. As you can see, everything else is working nicely inside. Now I'm going to use a gasket maker. It's a cube one. There's already a gasket on there, but I'm just giving it an extra layer just to make sure that no compression loss we don't experience any compression loss or a loss of oil as the generator is working. If we're losing oil, we are going to have a big problem. That means we'll have to continuously load oil into the generator all the time. So we have to make sure that that part is secured, and then now the other parts as well. Slowly doing it. It is very, very beautiful and clean. I love this job. Okay, now we are putting in the rotor. So the rotor, I need to give it a little bit of knock on top just to make sure it's seated correctly. And now it's working. And then the stator, as well as the stator, and then the cover. Now, after putting this cover, we are going to come across those wires. Those wires, you have to make sure that those wires are done correctly. As I said before, it will damage everything. It will burn, in fact. So let's check if the piston is working. That is working 100%. Now I've got the new valves, putting the valves in place just to make sure that they are seated nicely. And also those spring, we've got a gasket there. That gasket I was talking about. And then we're going to put it on that cylinder block, secure everything in place. Basically now we are going to set the valves. So the exhaust valve is normally 20 and the inlet valve is normally 15. As you can see, I'm making sure that the gap is 100% correct, and I'm using 2 spanners to tighten it or to make sure that it doesn't come loose. I'm using a size 14 underneath and I'm using a size 10 on top. So I put a rope or a nylon, a very thick nylon, through the spark plug hole just to make sure that the piston doesn't move as I'm busy tightening that long screw there. As well as the other side for the pull start where the flywheel is, we also have to tighten that as well. There's the rope or the nylon. So now we're putting the valve cover, secure it nicely, and then put the pull start in. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm running out of words. It's very, very beautiful. It's beautiful and clean. As you can see now, we're putting it back in its how do you call this? Wherever. So now putting on the shoes, tightening them up just to make sure that it doesn't vibrate out of place. Putting on the other set of shoes as well, because I had to remove all of them for me to be able to work nicely. It took us 2 days to get this job done. It was a lot of work. The first day we started off in the afternoon, so we couldn't finish, and the following day we were able to finish it, even though it was stressful because of the we had a bit of a small problem with the electricity. The AC, it wasn't giving out, so now I had to change the switch. So changing that switch there, we have to open the front panel, remove it completely, and then put in a normal working switch. You will see it's got a red button, on and off switch. As you can see now, it's working nicely. So just have to put the wires correctly now back in place, tighten it up, and then put that front panel back and tighten it up again. Very, very beautiful job. I'm very, very excited. Can't wait to give it a shot, start it up, and see how it goes. Other than that, we're busy putting that exhaust. I made a bit of a mistake there. It broken off as I was tightening it. It got broken off. You will see at the end. I'm busy. I will weld it. Those are the brushes. Now I'm tightening those brushes, putting in those AVR wires, positive and negative, and then also putting on connecting those panel wires just to make sure that electricity is being AC is being transferred to the front panel. So if you plug in your lights, your driller, your grinder, your fridge, you will be able to get the power from it. Otherwise, without these wires, you won't get anything out of it. So now I've tacking the wires in, making sure that they are out of the way, but not too deep in. Otherwise, they're gonna make contact with the rotor. As you can see now, I've just secured that earth wire. Now the cover has to be tight, but not too tight. Now I'm working with the carb. So the carb, I've already cleaned it. I didn't show that video, but I've done the cleaning of the carb, and now I'm busy cleaning the tank. The fuel tank itself, slide it in, tighten everything back in place. It's taking a bit of time because it was a very, very long job. And now I've got that cover, that carb cover. They say it air filter cover, air filter sponge, and then the last cover for that air filter. And then I will put in the oil. It is SAE40. Some call it SAE40. Basically it's SAE40. It's taking 500. Oh, there, I just started it. That runs nice. Alright, now we commence with the welding. Remember that exhaust that broke off? Now I'm welding it back in place just to make sure that it doesn't vibrate or causes too much noise while the generator is running. So I'm putting now a last cover. This is the last cover. I can't wait to give it a nice shot. Start it up with the tank and everything in place. Now it's time for starting. There we go. There we go. That is beautiful. Yeah, I can't explain it further. That is my face right there. And thank you so much. See you next time.